I'm not there to say this in person, but I know the sentence you were given to spend put away is nothing compared to the literal death sentence you gave my dad. You're a complete coward, and I hope you live the rest of your life in shame and guilt. I walk the stage to graduate in 3 weeks, and I won't have my dad in the stands watching me because of you. You're a monster, and I promise to make sure everyone, including those you love, will see it. You get the freedom of getting visits from your kids, while me and my siblings get the pain of visiting a cemetery.
8635, State of Texas versus Bondale Skirvin. You understand you're charged with the offense of murder. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count 1, paragraph A. Punishment is to be assessed at 35 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes. We have, obviously, there's a lot of family and friends here. There are 3 that would really wish to address the defendant.
All right. So we're going to go off the record. Mr. Skirvin? In this courtroom, I require that everyone treats everyone with respect. So family members of the complainant has something they want to say to you. So just internalize it. All right. If he wishes to, he can stay there. That will make it easier for the deputies.
I'm older brother. To me, you a coward. 35 years ain't no time. You know what I'm saying? I respect this courtroom, so I don't feel like you're remorseful. I feel like, what you're doing is fucked up. See my language.
All right, so everyone, here's the thing. Here's the thing, everyone. I understand that tempers are high, and they're always high in these cases in felony court, but I understand that they're even higher when it involves a murder case, and I understand that someone has lost a loved one. I do understand, but we are not going to use profanity in this court. If we do, what will end up happening is there will not be a victim impact statement. So when people start using profanity in court, start swaying back and forth the way you're swaying back and forth, that puts deputies on high alert, and that makes the court not safe the way it should be. All right, so this is what I would like you to do for me. Have a seat and speak from a seated position. That will make it easier for everyone. And if you want to, you can sit on this side so that he'll be able to see you, because I know there's equipment in the way. And that just makes it easier for everyone. All right, you may proceed.
You take my brother's life. He got kids. You ain't thinking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all would never know how it feels to lose a loved one because you're a coward. I'm from the streets. I know what it is. So, but I'll never respect this because you did it in a cowardly way. You know what I'm saying? You take my brother's life for what? For nothing. For nothing. Because you was a coward, because you couldn't face that. My brother was a good man, good father. Worked real hard. Took care of his kids. I just came home from doing 11 years. And I didn't even get to see my brother. You know what I'm saying? So, if you feel like that 35 is justified, none of us feel that way. But that ain't for me to judge, it's God. So, with that said, I hope when you sit in there, you really realize the life that you're taking, it ain't gonna never just be what it is. You can't get that back. His kids can't see him. He can't see his kids graduate. What my mother go through every day. My dad, the rest of my family, those that can't be here and speak. Words can't even too much explain how we really feel. But you're gonna always be a coward in my eyes. Always. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because I'm gonna let my word be few.
So I'm just gonna speak on behalf of the chamber. You took my father for my daughter. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not there to say this in person, but I know the sentence you were given to spend put away is nothing compared to the literal death sentence you gave my dad. You're a complete coward, and I hope you live the rest of your life in shame and guilt. I walk the stage to graduate in 3 weeks, and I won't have my dad in the stands watching me because of you. You're a monster, and I promise to make sure everyone, including those you love, will see it. You get the freedom of getting visits from your kids, while me and my siblings get the pain of visiting a cemetery. When you do get those visits from your kids, I hope all they see is a criminal, a monster, and a disgusting human. One day, these same words will come to you again, but from my mouth, and I'll look at you in your face as your life goes downhill the way you looked at my dad and took his life. I promise you won't live to see a normal life again as long as I'm around. I'll make sure your face is engraved in people's heads so when they see you, they will see a murderer. My dad taught me and my siblings to be strong physically and mentally, so I assure you that I will get justice for my dad one way or another. This isn't the end, so remember, please, with these words with every day that passes.
Your Honor, I'd ask if I could use the microphone. You have nothing to worry about me.
Okay.
Christian,
no, I understand.
Microphone or amplifier. You referenced the book twice, reading books twice. I'm reading a book right now, and it has everything to do with the impact of words. And if this is victim impact, I want to use clarity.
Oh, well, I can tell you that I'm the furthest person away from everybody, and I can hear you. All right. But thank you for that. I appreciate that.
I didn't write anything down. On Dale Skirvin. I'm trying to speak on behalf of Mark, Brenda, April, Crystal, Matthew, Elijah, Daniel, Sabrina, Brianna. These are most of the siblings. I'm sure I forgot some. Also on behalf of Dominique, Zanaya, and Joshua Jr. These are his kids. That's direct impact. I'm just a brother-in-law. When I have to hear his mother, Antonia, say, hey, you get to still see your family coming up on Mother's Day. My fear was that you were going to ask for time for that. I thought that would have been very unsuitable. Because none of who I just mentioned will ever get to see him again. And you didn't take a thug or a gangster away. You took a good man who to be a Christian man. My wife said, April, she said, make sure he knows that on behalf of her and everybody that agreed with her, that they forgive you. Because it's just in the Bible, I know I do too. I have to. I implore you to read the book of Job. But Job is a complicated book. It's one of the hardest to read because it's a man that followed God with everything. It's fun to learn now, but it's so hard. Look at you because can't help but think. On November 21st, when I'm talking to the doctor outside of 309, the room he died in. And I asked him how many gunshots did he receive? And the doctor said, we can't even tell. And you as a human being get to stand there and being honest with you. Do you perceive what you did that in front of your kids? I gotta forgive you because I can only hope that your kids do the same for you. I thought I was gonna be cool when I came up here and I forgive you. I forgive you and I hope God does the same. But just know I named those names and that's just the beginning of it because you took the life of the party. You took a human being that was anything but nothing before being the best father that I know. And I'm a great father. And you did that in front of your own kids. I don't know what was going through your head when that happened. That's for you and God. I actually came up here on behalf of my wife. I didn't realize I could say so much, but wanted you to know on her behalf, forgiven. God forgives you.
Here in States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, Mr. Skirvin is just remorseful. He's never been in trouble before, and he understands it's a significant sentence, and he just asked the court to follow the plea agreement.
All right, the court will follow the agreement, sentence you to 35 years in prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The court will give you credit for any time served. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. They're taking into consideration 2022 CR 8371, and there's to be no contact with Natalie Rodriguez. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and the TAP evaluation? State?
I have, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Any objection to the PSI report? State? All right, State?
Your Honor, Mr. DeLomba has a criminal history going back to when he was a juvenile, but he was committed to TYC for 3 different offenses, starting in 1997. Since then, Your Honor, he has picked up an alarming number of serious felony charges, failure to stop and render aid, drug cases, 2 assault family violence cases, one of which was a felony where he got 2 years TDC. It looks like he's gotten 2 years TDC on 2 different dates, a 4-year TDC on a different date. He has gone to TDC for 12 years on a robbery. And of course, we're standing here today because he was indicted on the case he pled to, as well as another assault family second. Also notable is that he has an escape from felony custody for 12 years. Your Honor, and you're looking at the facts of this case also, 19.867 grams of meth.
Excuse me. Who has the phone on?
I'm sorry.
Almost 20 grams of meth, Your Honor. This is a level of possession that is indicative of having a large network, a large access to this type of drug, which we do know he is Mexican mafia. And in the offense, to the officers that day, he also admitted that he is a sergeant in the Mexican mafia. Your Honor, this is an individual who there's no indication in his history in the current charges that he would be willing to turn his life around or benefit from probation at all. He has gotten a tremendous benefit with this bargain, given the fact that he was minimum 25, and he has been multiple times, and he has continually gotten the benefit of a bargain for that. Your Honor, it is the state's strong position that he be denied his application for probation, and we would ask for the full 15 years.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you speak up, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so my question for you, this misdemeanor case of assault, bodily injury, married, where you did 90 days in jail, what did you learn from that? I mean, what did you learn? Usually when people, well, you hope that when people go to jail, when people go to prison, they learn something. So I'm trying to figure out, what did you learn from that?
I don't know.
All right. And this unauthorized use of a vehicle where you received 14 months in the state jail facility, what did you learn from that?
I did.
Because see, yeah, I'm gonna need you to speak up so she can hear, okay?
I didn't learn from that.
All right, and then we have the 4 years in prison for the failure to stop and render aid. What did you learn from that? And then you have 2 years for possession. Did you learn anything from that? And then there's 9 months in the state jail facility for possession. Did you learn anything? And then the assault family second, 2 years. Did you learn anything? And then we have the felon in possession of a firearm, 12 years. Did you learn anything?
Yes, ma'am. And that I did 9 years on that 12-year sentence.
And what did you learn?
I got college trades and everything. And I tried to help myself out. You know, I got caught up in the ways again in the same cycle. I understand that.
Okay.
But I got my college. I got 3 college certificates, trades that I was trying to, you know, use upon my release. And I got up again in that cycle of drugs.
All right. And then this escape from felony custody where you did 12 years. What did you learn from that?
The same. That's all the same.
All right. Well, the robbery is tied to that for 12 years. And then now we have a new assault. This is what I always tell people. I look at people as individuals, and sometimes you're at a different place in your life. And hopefully everybody's learning. But criminal history is sort of like a credit report. It's sort of like if you have a credit report and your credit report is you don't pay your bills, then people may not want to let you get the vehicle or let you get the home. And so your criminal history is sort of a credit report for me to say, would this person be good on probation? Has this person learned anything? Have they not learned anything? Is there anything that can be done to help them? And then there are cases for me where it's this person needs to go to prison. You understand? So I'm looking at all of that, but I'm also looking at you as an individual. And for me, people are more than just their criminal history.
Just on the ask for leniency, I do have a drug problem, and every time I get out, I go right back to it. I want to try to break the cycle. This is the first time I've ever asked the court for any leniency, for any help for my drug addiction. I've always took a plea bargain for everything I've done and done my time. Everything that is on my record, I've done my time for. I've already, you know, tried to get over it, and that's not helping me. Penitentiary is not helping me. I need something. I need something that's going to help me.
All right.
I'm asking the court for help.
All right.
Drug addiction.
So, Mr. DeLama, here's the thing. I am going to deny your application. Now, they do have a therapeutic community at the prison that can help you with your drug addiction. I can't order them to place you in it. I can put a request in and say that you be requested for the therapeutic community. But if you don't ask for it, they definitely won't give it to you. If you write a nice letter, maybe have your attorney write a letter stating about your drug addictions and how you want to turn your life around, maybe they'll allow you to be in it. But I don't think you would be a good candidate for probation. And that's the reason why I'm denying your application. And I look at it globally. It's not just your history that makes you someone who I think is not a good candidate. All right. So I want to let you know that I heard everything you said. I internalized it, and I'm looking at you as a human being, not just paper. Okay. All right. The court is going to find you guilty, taking in consideration 2022 CR 8371. I don't know if I have that. There's to be no contact with Natalie Rodriguez. So make sure you have no contact with her. Okay. Credit for any time served, the therapeutic community, and I'm going to sentence you to 15 years prison. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your rights, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Lamba, when you get out, I know it's hard to do, but you're going to have to change people, places, and things. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Clip 1. The courtroom fell silent as the victim's family confronted the man convicted of taking their loved one's life. Through powerful victim impact statements, they described the lasting pain left behind, reminding the defendant that while his prison sentence would eventually end, the loss he caused would remain with him forever. After hearing every statement with dignity and respect, the judge accepted the plea agreement and sentenced the defendant to 35 years in prison for murder. The courtroom then shifted to a different case involving a repeat offender with a long criminal history. As the judge reviewed his past convictions, she questioned whether years of incarceration had taught him anything. After the defendant admitted that drug addiction had repeatedly pulled him back into crime, he asked the court for help instead of another cycle through prison. Although the judge denied probation due to his extensive record, she encouraged him to seek treatment through the prison's rehabilitation program and urged him to change the people, places, and habits that had kept him trapped in the same destructive cycle.